Back in 1968, the council at the time wanted to develop the Weiti River into a boating club, but they didn't want to run it themselves, so they decided to get together with some of the locals and establish the Weiti Boating Club, and also have moorings here in the river, a hard stand and facilities for club members.
We were aware that we needed to do something about the filtration system and the collection of waste from our hard stand.
When I joined the club 5 years ago, we kept on getting visits from Auckland Council, trying to encourage the club to do something about the wash water and stormwater.
Yeah, well, not many people realise the contaminant load inside wash waters that are generated at marina hard stand activities. It's quite typical for the copper and zinc levels to be up around 50 grams per cubic metre each, and this is measured as total metals. So there's no way it's ever been a stormwater, and it needs to be treated as if it isn't one.
From about 7 or 8 years ago, the committee planned to put money aside for that project, not really knowing how much it was going to be or what we actually had to. We knew what we wanted to achieve, we just didn't know how or what infrastructure we would need to put in place.
So we needed to try and find a solution for the club that was affordable and also that would protect the river.
And we policed up and down the country from Auckland to Northland, looking at other organisations' filtration systems. We found nothing that was achieving what we wanted to achieve in our river. We wanted pretty much zero waste to go to our river. We spent 2 years looking for this, going through various sand filters that just weren't performing. They were consented, they were older consents, but they weren't doing what we required in our river.
Now, typically in the industry, the treatment goes from nothing at all, so direct to the sea. There can be basic settling systems to the marine environment. Sometimes there's 3-stage interceptors to either the sea or to the sewer. From time to time, sand filtration is used either to the sea or to the sewer. And more recently, solutions such as cartridge media type solutions have been put in place, but in these situations they typically treat both a mixed wash water and a stormwater. So the assessment was made of all of these in order to come up with the right solution. We looked at the technology based on the data that we had to hand. We looked at the operating costs and the capital cost, and also at how these particular forms of treatment could be dealt with on site and handled by the club.
Okay, so now we have our system up and running. We're very happy with it. It's absolutely amazing. It's easy for the members to use, rather than having to bund and bucket and vacuum and cover. They can simply sluice their water into it, sluice their bad water into the system, and away it goes.
The stormwater system, when I water blasted the anti-fouling off my boat, it came straight down the channel and into the stormwater, and I thought to myself, this is fantastic. Nothing going into the sea at all. I thought, how good is that?
I think it was probably an innovation in 3 ways. Firstly, we separated the stormwater from the wash water, which is not usual for this industry. Secondly, we treated the 2 streams separately. And thirdly, we used more modern practices to deal with both the wash water and the stormwater. Even though the wash water is not really a stormwater, it's still part of the treatment train. So the treatment process goes for collection and storage of the wash water, then ongoing pumping of the stormwater to treatment, and that treatment has 3 stages: settling, then cartridge media type filtration, and then engineered rain garden. So it was very important to have a treatment train approach in this situation because of the strength of the contaminants. Just a one-stop shop wouldn't have been effective.
Auckland Council were very understanding about the club situation. They were encouraging us to try and work out a solution that was the best for the club.
We really had no idea what we were supposed to be doing, apart from the fact that we wanted it to be long-term and negative impact on the river. There was nothing on the infrastructure side, and I think probably Council was struggling just as much as we were to try and find a solution.
If the governmental bodies actually had some standards that were mandatory, that you knew you had to meet, that would make it a lot easier to convince people that this needs to be done. What we need for New Zealand wide is a building code for these sort of situations. Not such a building code, but an environmental code, or whatever you'd call it.
Generally speaking, and this is certainly not specific to Weiti Boating Club, but one of the first things we're met with on a site, first statements, is what's the least I can get away with to appease the council? And this is a verbatim comment. And that's not really the right question. But it does give us an opportunity to talk to the clients about a bigger picture and to try and push them a little bit harder than perhaps they were originally thinking they needed to go. We certainly need to rely on the best practical option approach. I think this is a good way to get industrial sites to make a decision, but we probably need to put some best into best practical option and really push the boundaries in that area. Many environmental consents are given for a period of 20 years or more, so we do need to make sure that we're providing something that's forward-looking in the overall design. And we certainly need our regulators around the country to clearly explain what they see as being long-term objectives so that businesses can work towards those objectives.
Everything's possible, you've just got to find a solution.